Hey guys, it's Danny. Alrighty, today I'm gonna show you and I'm gonna try out for the very first time a method of tidying up orchids which seem to take a lot of space. Now I saw this method on Ed's Orchids channel and I'll link you down below to his video and his method. I am simply trying it out. It's one of those very simple yet very efficient methods that when you see it, you think to yourself, well, that's brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? Therefore, I believe it needs to be shared. So thank you so much, Ed, for the idea. Let's see if I can do a good job. This is the first time that I'm trying it out. Alrighty, so this method refers to tidying up orchids which produce large and pretty unruly pseudobulbs like cattleyas, and as you can see, the dendrobium nobile right here, which is currently in bloom, and due to the weight of the flowers, the canes simply flopped over. It takes more space than it should right now, and needless to say, it doesn't look all that pretty. So I have the option to either place a lot of stakes, either try to tie them up with my raffia tape, which I sometimes do, but it gets a little bit messy. However, I think Ed's method is a little bit more tidy, a little bit better looking. So what we will do is stabilize these canes one from the other using wire. So the wire that I'm using is a floral wire. It is coated, so theoretically it will not damage plants, and as you can see, mine is pretty thin. I do have a thicker one as well, but this is more manageable and easier to work with. Also, these canes are not all that heavy. It's just that they are very thin at the base, so the plant cannot support the weight. But the actual pseudobulb is really not all that heavy, so this wire theoretically should not cut into the pseudobulb. If I would have had a heavier orchid, obviously I would have went for the thicker wire, but this should be good for this particular case. Alrighty, so let's see how to do this. The method implies wrapping the wire around the pseudobulb a few times, then going to the next one, wrapping it together with the other one, and so on until all of the pseudobulbs are caught. Okay, so I'm actually gonna wrap the wire at a stronger part of the pseudobulbs, not quite at the base because it is pretty thin. So let's start from here, and all I need to do is just wrap the wire. Sorry about those noises, it's the wire rubbing against the tripod and everything. So I have my wire wrapped around this pseudobulb. It's pretty tight, but not very tight. You cannot really tighten this wire all too much. It's not all that flexible. So without cutting it, I'm gonna go to the next pseudobulb and I'm gonna do the same thing. This is a bit harder to do because this pseudobulb has a different shape. I'll wrap the wire around the pseudobulb pretty tight, but not very tight. As for the wire to cut into the pseudobulb, I think this is okay. Let's move on to the next pseudobulb, which is this one. And I think I should remove the stake, at least for now. Oh, and it's gone. So yet again, without cutting the wire, I'm gonna move on to this pseudobulb, which has flowers and makes things a little hard, but that's okay, we'll manage. There we go. I think this would be easier with an orchid which is not potted. And here's where the fun part starts. I need to do the same with this cane, which is so slanted at the moment. Let's see how to do this. So let's try to pick a position in which the flowers can still be displayed. Okay, this looks good. You can see how slanted this cane was. I didn't have any issues raising it up. It's quite flexible. Dendrobium nobiles are quite flexible, but this also means they tend to lean a lot. Okay, not the easiest thing with the cane in bloom, but we'll manage. Alrighty, so we managed to catch this pseudobulb as well. Now it's time for the last pseudobulb. And theoretically, this one should be a little easier. At this point, to make my life easier, I'm just gonna cut the wire. And there we go, we actually didn't damage any. And there we go, we actually didn't damage any flowers. So at the end here, let me get you closer. Since this is the last pseudobulb we're gonna catch, we can just cut the wire, wrap it around the pseudobulb, and presto! So instantly my orchid is a lot more manageable. Due to the flowers, I didn't want to bring the pseudobulbs too close to each other. I want the flowers to manage to develop and open completely. And when I will repot this orchid, I'll make sure to center it a little better. I'll see what I will do with this section of the plant as well. but it's a lot better. This now saves a lot of space, and I'm pretty happy with the result. Sorry about that noise, there are flying objects in the air. But I'm liking this for a first attempt. It's pretty okay. I'm happy I didn't mess up the flowers. Okay, so this was a pretty difficult case, but it works. Also, the wire is pretty concealed. You can see it, of course, but from a distance at least, you absolutely cannot see it all that much. It is definitely not distracting because it's green. So let's try a cattleya now. Okay, this is one I've always had issues with. This is the Reginoide cattleya. This one grows so awkwardly that right now I'm trying to train it with the light. You can see the new growths have been positioned to try to straighten them a little bit. They used to grow in this direction. But in the end, this orchid does whatever it feels like it. So we do have some wonky pseudobulbs in the back. I'm thinking that I can bring these guys closer together and then go in front to that pseudobulb. The new growth I will not catch at the moment. It will be for a future project. I'm gonna let them mature. Hopefully they're gonna be pretty straight. And afterwards, of course, I can add more wire and connect the two growths as well. So I'm gonna start with this pseudobulb right here, which is the oldest one, and make my way to the newer pseudobulbs. I'm gonna tie it right where the pseudobulb ends, and I'm not gonna make the wire very tight. There we go. And now let's move to the other pseudobulb. Am I in frame? Probably not. Let's see. I think this would be okay. Oh, it's much easier with the wire already cut. Okay, this is enough. The wire is not very tight, but it's enough to maintain these pseudobulbs in place. And now let's connect it to the front one. And now cut the wire and wrap it around the pseudobulb so that it doesn't damage the leaves or our hands. And there we go. And oh wow, my orchid is a lot tidier right now. And obviously it takes a lot less space. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. Now you might ask yourselves why I'm not using some sort of thread or even raffia tape because it is more flexible. Well, there's a reason for that. I do intend to shower my orchids. Do you see how dusty they are? I've already showered part of them. Textiles can retain water, also raffia tape if it's very tight, which it can get because it is so flexible. It will keep that water there, and I'm just a little bit wary of rotting issues. So right now I'm giving this wire a go, but I might experiment with raffia tape as well. Who knows? We'll see. I'm pretty okay with the wire. It's not very distracting, and obviously it made my orchid pretty tidy. This one was really easy to tie up, so yeah, I'm loving this method, and it does indeed keep my orchids in check. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a few more because I have quite a few wonky orchids. If you do intend to try it out with a thread, go for something that does not decompose, so not a natural fiber. Because in time, if there's a lot of humidity or water, the thread will indeed come loose and the orchid will flop once again. So there we go, quite a nice idea to keep our orchids in check. Don't forget to check the description to see the initial video and drop a comment to Ed as well. Say hi to him, say hi from me too, and thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel for daily orchids and plants videos, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! There we go, the Chysis bractensis is preparing a flower spike. It looks bigger than the one we had last year. But last year was the very first time this orchid bloomed, so let's hope this year will get a better display and more long-lasting flowers. Last year they didn't last all that long. The fragrance though was pretty worth it, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about this one.